Good morning. Welcome to Time in His Word. I heard this comment made yesterday. Now, I might get it wrong, but I think I got it pretty close to what they said. They said, "What will tomorrow be like when you're not here?" And it got me to thinking, we always assume, and every one of us do it, we always assume we've got tomorrow. We never think of as today is the last day we're going to live. We all think about what we're going to do tomorrow. We make plans for tomorrow, next week, next month, next year. Maybe you started looking at booking a cruise to some place you've always wanted to go. But we're always planning ahead. And in Psalms, the 144th chapter, verse 4, it says this: "Man is like a mere breath. His days are like a passing shadow." So in other words, we're not here that long. So what are we doing for the time that we're here, the time that we presume that we have? Because nobody's guaranteed the next minute at all. We just assume and we live life like we have forever, when in reality we don't. But then I think if we dwell on or think about today's the last day, then I think we do ourselves a disservice and we put more stress on us than we need to be. So, and there's nothing wrong with making plans for next week, next month, next year, whatever. There's nothing wrong with that. We should be living life that way. We shouldn't think of as today is the last day we have. But we should have our life we should have how we're going to spend eternity. We should have that knocked down, nailed down to where there's no doubt, where if we don't have tomorrow, we know where we're going to spend eternity. That's the only thing I can think of that we need to make sure we have in order, where we're going to spend eternity, so that if we don't wake up tomorrow, there's no doubt that when we went to sleep, we would wake up in heaven. So with that being said, if you're someone who's kind of straddling the fence, kind of, yeah, I go to church every now and then because I've got plenty of time. Well, I think that's what that comment was getting at. That's the way I took it as. Yeah, we've got plenty of time, but when it comes to where we're going to spend eternity, we need to have that locked down now, so that if we don't have tomorrow, we know where we're going to wake up at, if that makes any sense. Well, there's another passage I'm going to use here in a minute pertaining to what we're talking about this morning. But that is why I came up with this phrase years and years ago. And it's kind of like a motto or kind of what I live my day-to-day by. And it goes like this: everyone that I visit with today, I pray that I will be able to visit with in heaven. Now, that doesn't put no pressure on me to make sure that whoever I visit with today, before we leave the conversation, I ask them, if you die right now, will you go to heaven? But what it does do is it encourages me, or it's a goal that I live by, that people know where I stand as a Christian, and that when we interact, if you have a question, I'm willing to answer the question and sit down and talk to you for however long it takes, or whatever you want to talk about. But it's just a little phrase that I came up with that I, as a Christian man, try to live by. Whoever I visit with today, I pray that I will be able to visit with in heaven. And it's not very overpowering or nothing, but it kind of reminds me that my sole purpose as a Christian is to witness to others and to share the good news, the gospel, with them. So I guess in a sense, I have planned out my life that if I don't wake up tomorrow, I know exactly where I'm going to wake up at. As an individual, without a shadow of a doubt, Can you answer that question? Do you know, if you don't wake up after you go to bed tonight, do you know where you will wake up without a shadow of a doubt? And if not, don't you think you should do something about that? James says it this way, James the 4th chapter, verse 14. Yet you do not know what your life will be like tomorrow. You are just a vapor that appears for a little while and then vanishes away. And we know how a vapor is. It's thin, thick, but it just as quick as it was there, it's gone just as quick. So that's what James is getting at. We don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with planning out activities, weddings, whatever you want to do on out into the future. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes to your soul and where you're going to spend eternity at, we need to knock that down and have that planned out now. So in the case that we don't get tomorrow, as I said before, we know without a shadow of a doubt where we're going to wake up in the morning. So that's my question for you today. How will tomorrow be? I done messed that phrase up. But anyway, I'll just simply ask this way. If you go to sleep tonight and you don't wake up, where do you know without a shadow of a doubt you will wake up in the morning?